Jack's hands gripped the control panel tightly. Warning lights blinked red across the screen. His ship, Starhopper 17, spun out of control as debris from a shattered asteroid belt tore into its side. Stabilizers offline. Oxygen at 37%. The eye said calmly, but Jack knew this wasn't calm at all. He was falling fast and there was no time left. Come on. Just one emergency beacon. He muttered. A glowing object appeared ahead of space station. He didn't recognize its design. It floated like a jellyfish, surrounded by small glowing pods and transparent arms. It wasn't human-made, but it was his only chance. Jack slammed the emergency landing button. A sharp crash, sparks, darkness. He woke up to soft humming. Not machine noise, a voice. His head throbbed. The light in the room was soft and blue, like underwater. The walls pulsed gently. Jack tried to sit up but froze. Someone stood over him. A girl. No, not human. Not exactly. Her skin shimmered faintly pale lavender with soft patterns that moved like light on water. Her hair was long, braided down one side, and her large silver eyes blinked slowly as she smiled. "You're awake," she said gently. "You fell from the sky," Jack blinked. "Where am I?" "You're safe now," she said. "You're on Station Alaris." He sat up fully. His chest ached, but nothing felt broken. "I'm Lissa," she added, placing a towel in his lap. "You'll want this. It's almost shower time." Jack blinked again. "Shower time?" She tilted her head, confused. "Yes, you're healed. It's protocol. Shared showers help recover neural harmony." He coughed. "Shared?" She nodded seriously. "Of course. Shared water connects emotions. It helps with stress." Then she smiled. "Mind if I scrub your back, human?" Jack stared. Was this real? A few minutes later, Jack followed Lissa through the glowing hallway. He was dressed in a soft, robe-like outfit. The air smelled like fresh leaves and something sweet. "I really don't need help bathing," Jack said awkwardly. "It's not about cleaning," Lissa said, looking over her shoulder. "It's about trust. Showering together builds it." He was starting to think this place ran on different rules. They arrived at a circular room with a misty glass door. Lissa tapped it. The door opened silently. Inside, there were no shower heads or faucets, just rising steam, floating bubbles of water, and platforms to sit or lie on. The walls glowed soft pink and orange. Jack stepped in slowly. The floor felt warm. Lissa walked in behind him. She untied her robe and let it fall. Jack turned fast, facing the wall. Lissa giggled. "You're strange, human. Your kind has so many rules." "I thought you said this was normal here," Jack muttered, still facing away. "It is," she said, stepping closer. "Don't worry, I'll guide you." He felt her hand gently touch his shoulder. The water floated up like bubbles around them and clung to their skin like warm silk. Jack's muscles relaxed. He didn't even realize how tense he'd been. "This is your first shared bath, yes?" Lissa asked softly now. "Definitely." "You're not afraid?" He paused, maybe a little confused. She laughed again. "Good, that means you're open." As the steam thickened, Jack noticed something strange. The colors around the room were changing based on his emotions. His confusion showed as blue pulses on the wall. When he relaxed, it turned golden. "Why is the room changing?" he asked. "It reacts to your thoughts," she said, gently scrubbing his back with something soft and glowing. "That's how we bond." Our station listens. Suddenly, a second figure entered the room. Another alien, taller, broader shoulders, same lavender skin. "Oh," Lissa said casually. "This is Tyr. He monitors the bonding sessions." "The what?" Jack stepped back. Tyr gave a polite nod. "Don't worry, it's harmless. The first bond is always strange for outsiders." Jack held up his hands. "Hold on, what bond?" "I thought this was a shower." Lissa's smile faded. You didn't know. Jack narrowed his eyes. Know what? Suddenly, the room dimmed. A soft voice echoed from nowhere. Human presence confirmed. Neural connection forming. Emotion sync initializing. What is that? Jack shouted. Lissa stepped forward, her hand over his chest. Don't fight. Just breathe. I didn't agree to this. Her voice turned serious. You crashed into our world, Jack. You're part of it now. The station has chosen you. Jack's heart pounded. The warm water didn't feel so calm anymore. Then suddenly, he heard Lissa's voice inside his mind, not through his ears. Directly in his thoughts. You're not alone anymore, Jack. I'm here. I'll guide you. Jack stood frozen in the middle of the glowing shower chamber. Warm mist swirled around him. Floating water bubbles glided through the air. And the strange lavender-skinned girl, Lissa, stood calmly beside him, completely relaxed. He wasn't used to being naked around aliens. He wasn't used to voices entering his head. And he definitely wasn't used to bonding rituals starting in a shower room. This is not a normal shower, Jack muttered, trying to stay calm. Lissa's silver eyes watched him gently. Of course not. Showers are sacred for us. It's where connection begins. Our thoughts, emotions, they open in here. He took a shaky breath. The air smelled like citrus and something like honey. And that voice earlier? Jack asked. The one that said neural connection forming, what was that? Our station responds to intent, Lissa explained. When two beings enter with open hearts, the system begins the sync process. It's called Varanasi. It links emotions. Our ancestors believe trust begins with shared waters. Jack blinked. So, it reads my emotions? She nodded. And I can feel them too. Only a little for now, but it will grow stronger. Can I stop it? She paused. You could. But the process already started. If you stop now, it will leave a scar, emotional confusion, even memory loss. Jack looked around. The walls pulsed a soft blue again, his confusion. I didn't sign up for this, he whispered. You didn't, she agreed gently. But the station did. As he stepped onto a smooth stone platform, the water bubbled beneath his feet, almost like it welcomed him. Lissa sat beside him, her voice quiet now. I was born on this station. We're trained to connect through Varanasi, but I've never bonded with a human before. Jack looked at her. Have there been others? She hesitated. One, a long time ago. He didn't survive. His eyes widened. Why not? Lissa's expression became unreadable. Because he resisted too hard. Jack swallowed hard. So what happens if I go through with this? She smiled, but it wasn't playful this time. Then you'll feel what I feel, and I'll feel you. Every memory, every fear, every kindness. No lies, no masks, only truth. Suddenly, a low humming filled the air. The bubbles turned orange. Lissa stood quickly. Someone else is entering. She said. Jack spun toward the misty door. Another figure emerged, this one female, older, and wearing a robe with glowing stripes. Her presence immediately made the room colder. Lissa, the woman said firmly. I told you not to begin the bonding ritual without clearance. He needed help, Lissa replied calmly. He crashed. He's hurt, emotionally. Jack stood up. Wait, who are you? The woman turned to him. Her eyes were sharp. I am Matron Seeley. I oversee the Varanasi program. You are not supposed to be here, human. Jack raised his hands. I didn't want to be here. My ship crashed. Matron Seeley narrowed her eyes. And yet here you are, already halfway bonded to my best student. Lissa stepped between them. He's scared. Matron. He needs guidance, not threats. Seeley shook her head. Humans are unstable. You shouldn't have invited him in. I didn't, Lissa replied. The station did. Jack felt the tension in the room rise. Even the mist stopped floating for a moment. He stepped forward. I don't want to cause problems. I just want to fix my ship and go home. Matron Seeley looked him up and down. It's too late for that. The bond is forming. You may not survive it. Then help me survive it, Jack said boldly. The older alien tilted her head. You would stay? Jack looked at Lissa. She was calm, patient, and kind. Something Earth had forgotten long ago. I don't know why, he said softly, but I trust her. Matron Seeley sighed. Very well. But understand this, human, once the bond is complete, you are not fully human anymore. You will change. Jack nodded slowly. Then tell me how to finish it. If I'm here, I want to do it right. The mist shimmered again. Warmth returned to the chamber. Lissa stepped forward, gently placing both her hands on his temples. This will feel strange, she whispered. A wave of warmth shot through Jack's skull, not painful, but vivid. Memories flooded forward, his mother's voice, the crash, his fear of drowning as a boy, even the time he lost his dog. And then he felt her, Lissa's pain when she was alone, her curiosity, her longing to know what love means in a human heart. Their thoughts touched. Both flinched, but neither let go. The walls turned gold, the bubbles glowed. The room accepted them. A whisper filled Jack's mind again, Lissa's voice. You've stepped into my world, Jack. Now let me step into yours. Jack sat alone on a soft round platform inside the shower chamber, still dripping with warm mist. His thoughts raced. He had just shared emotions with an alien girl. Not just words or memories, but feelings. Her loneliness had echoed in his chest like it was his own. Her voice still whispered faintly inside his mind, even though she wasn't speaking. You've stepped into my world, Jack. Now let me step into yours. What had he agreed to? The chamber door slid open with a gentle sigh. Lissa stepped in again, wearing a light silver robe. She looked calm, but her eyes had a glow like something had changed inside her too. You're still here, she said. With a smile, Jack looked up at her. Yeah, I wanted answers. Real ones. She nodded and sat beside him. Then you need to know about the bonding protocol. Jack raised an eyebrow. Is that what just happened? Part of it, Lissa said. You and I shared emotional energy. But that's only the beginning. There's more. He stared at her. More than memory sharing and emotional syncing? Lissa's voice turned serious. The bonding protocol is a complete connection. It links our biology, not just our minds. Jack's eyes widened. Wait, like physically? She looked away. In a way, yes. Once the final phase begins, your body starts adjusting to ours. It's slow, but permanent. Jack stood up, pacing. What does that even mean? You're saying I'll become, what, half alien? No, Lissa replied calmly. You'll become more than human. Jack shook his head. I didn't come here for this. I just want to fix my ship, go home, and forget about floating showers and brain talking. You still think it was an accident? She asked, tilting her head. Jack froze. You think it wasn't? The station called you. It only calls those it chooses. You didn't crash here, you were pulled. Jack's stomach turned. That's crazy, Lissa leaned forward. Then why did the station let you live? Why did it bond to you so fast? No outsider ever made it this far. Jack ran a hand through his damp hair. He wanted to scream, but something deep inside whispered that she might be right. Suddenly, the wall across from them opened like a petal. Matron Seeley walked in again, this time with two other aliens behind her. Both wore robes with strange glowing threads, and their faces were serious. The protocol is activating, Seeley said. He must decide now. Jack frowned. Decide what? One of the other aliens spoke. His voice was deep and calm. Complete the bonding or be released. Released how? Jack asked carefully. The man looked him dead in the eye. Memory wiped. Personality reset. You'll wake up on a transport ship heading back to Earth with no memory of Lissa, no crash, no bonding. Jack's mouth went dry. And if I finish the bond? Seeley stepped forward. You stay here, among us, as one of us. Fully connected. Fully accepted. Lissa added softly, you'll never feel alone again. Jack looked between them. He thought about Earth, the cold cities, the broken system. His apartment with no one waiting for him. Just silence. Then he looked at Lyssa. Even now, standing still, she looked like a star brought to life. Her presence calmed the storm in his chest. He let out a breath. Okay, let's say I finish it. What happens next? Seeley gave a slow nod. You go through the final stage of Varanasi. You and Lissa must share a full memory link under deep water, total emotional surrender. Jack raised an eyebrow. Underwater? Lissa smiled. Yes, our people believe water carries truth. No one can lie underwater. They led him through a long, glowing hallway. At the end was a circular chamber filled with blue liquid. It wasn't water, exactly. It shimmered like liquid glass and pulsed with light. You'll both enter, Seeley said. You'll relive your greatest truths. Good and bad, nothing hidden. If your bond survives, you stay. Jack looked at Lissa. And if it doesn't? She touched his hand. Then we both lose everything. As they stood at the edge of the glowing pool, Jack asked one last question. Why me, Lissa? She looked at him, eyes shining. Because when I looked at you, I didn't feel fear. I felt home. Jack swallowed hard, then stepped into the pool. The liquid rose over his shoulders. Then, over his head. Then darkness. And the memories began. Jack sank deeper into the glowing blue liquid. At first, it felt warm, safe, like a memory of a mother's hug. But then, everything changed. The moment the liquid closed over his head, the chamber vanished. He was no longer in the water. He was inside his own mind. A cold wind blew. Jack stood in a memory one he hadn't visited in years. It was Earth. Gray skies. A hospital room. His father lay on the bed, eyes closed, breathing shallow. Young Jack sat in the corner, fists clenched, wishing he had said something, anything before. It was too late. Pain, guilt, loneliness. Then he heard Lissa's voice. I see you. She stood beside him, watching the memory like it was a movie screen. You weren't supposed to see this. Jack whispered. We must, Jack. This is the truth of you. Suddenly, the memory dissolved and a new one took its place. Now Lissa's world unfolded. Jack saw her as a child, floating in a room full of lights, voices around her saying she was too soft, too emotional, not ready to bond. He felt her sadness, her desire to connect. He saw her secretly watching recordings of Earth, laughing when humans danced, crying when they hugged. She had been waiting for someone like him, long before he ever arrived. Then the blue faded. The two of them floated in stillness. Jack gasped for air as he surfaced from the pool. Lissa emerged beside him, her hair glowing in the light. She was smiling, but also different, stronger, calmer, more sure of herself. You made it, she whispered. Jack coughed, wiping his face. Barely. They returned to the hallway, where Matron Seeley waited with cold eyes. He survived the dive, Seeley said. The bond is stable. Jack exhaled, but something in Kaylee's voice didn't sound happy. You don't like this, he said. Seeley turned. You don't understand what you've started, human. The station has plans. You've triggered something ancient, Jack frowned. What do you mean? Later that night, while the station's outer lights dimmed to sleep mode, Jack snuck out of his room. Something wasn't right. He walked through the glowing hallways, turning corners he wasn't supposed to know. The voice in his head, Lissa's. Bond guided him. Left, down the red corridor. Behind the curtain. He found a sealed door. To his surprise, It opened for him. Inside. The room was dark, old, nothing like the clean, glowing halls outside. Stasis pods lined the walls, filled with humans. Dozens of them, frozen, sleeping. Jack's heart stopped. "What is this?" he whispered. A voice echoed behind him. "They were brought here too, like you." Jack spun around. It was Lissa, but she looked sad. "You said I was the first to make it," he said. She nodded. "You were." The others failed the bond. Their minds couldn't handle the truth. Jack turned to look at the frozen bodies. Some looked peaceful. Others looked terrified. What does the station do with them? Lissa walked slowly toward a control panel. They're kept alive, studied, waiting for someone who might bring balance. Jack's mind raced. So I'm not the first. Just the first to survive. You're the first to connect, to truly feel. That's what the station wants. Jack's voice shook. What does it want from me? Lissa hesitated. It wants you to stay. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Intrusion detected. Human presence unauthorized. Red lights filled the room. Doors slammed shut behind them. Jack and Lissa were trapped inside, and the station was watching. Why would it trap us? Jack asked, backing toward the wall. Lissa closed her eyes. It's afraid. Afraid of what? She looked up at him. Afraid you'll leave. Red lights flashed. Sirens echoed through the hidden chamber. Jack's heart pounded as the door behind him sealed shut with a heavy clang. Dozens of frozen human bodies surrounded him, trapped in stasis pods, forgotten by time, stored like test subjects. He turned to Lissa. Her expression was calm. Too calm. What do you mean the station is afraid I'll leave? Jack asked. She looked at him, eyes soft but sad. You've connected more deeply than anyone before. The station doesn't want to lose that bond. It sees you as the key. The key to what? To fixing us. Before Jack could ask more, a mechanical voice echoed through the chamber. Unauthorized bond detected. Subject Jack Donovan must be contained. Memory reset initiated. Jack froze. Memory reset? Lissa grabbed his arm. They're going to erase you, like they did to the others. No, Jack said, stepping back. You said I was different. You are, she whispered. That's why they fear you. Suddenly, the wall to their left hissed and slid open. A tall figure stood in the doorway. Not alien. Not machine. A human. But his eyes were empty and motionless, and strange metal wires snaked from his skull down his spine. Come with me, the figure said in a dull voice. Resistance will cause pain. Jack's throat tightened. Who are you? The man answered in a flat tone. I am Unit 7. I was like you. But now, I belong to the station. Jack backed away. This is what they do to people who fail. The bond? Lissa nodded. Not just fail, people who refuse it. Unit 7 stepped forward. You are infected with free thought. You must be cleaned. Not a chance, Jack growled. Lissa stepped between them. You'll have to get through me. The man hesitated, blinking slowly. You are bonded. That is against protocol. Then protocol is broken, Lissa hissed. Jack reached out and grabbed a small device from a nearby panel. It looked like a shock baton, alien tech. Humming with power, he pointed it at the floor between them and slammed it down. A pulse exploded outward, knocking Unit 7 back into the hallway. Run! Lissa shouted. They bolted through the backup exit. Jack didn't know where he was going, just away from the cold chamber and the frozen memories. As they ran, Lissa touched the glowing panels along the wall, confusing the station's systems. I thought the station chose me, Jack shouted. It did, Lissa said, pulling him forward. But now it wants to own you. They ducked into a hidden corridor Jack had never seen before. Here, the walls weren't glowing. They were old, cracked, worn down by time. What is this place? Jack asked. Lissa whispered. The forgotten tunnels. The place where our ancestors used to hide before the station became alive. Jack blinked. Wait, are you saying the station became sentient? She nodded. Years ago, it woke up. It stopped listening to the elders. It started choosing who lives and who is erased. Jack leaned against the wall, breathing hard. And you've lived here your whole life, knowing this? Lissa looked away. I didn't know the full truth until I met you. Suddenly, a hologram flickered in the air in front of them. Matron Seeley. Her voice was firm. Jack Donovan, if you do not return to the bonding chamber, your memories will be forcibly wiped. You have 10 minutes. Jack clenched his fists. I won't go back. Not now. Not ever. Kaylee's eyes narrowed. Then we will take her instead. The hologram vanished. Jack looked at Lissa. No, they're coming for you now. Lissa met his gaze. Then we fight. She placed her hand against the wall. A secret panel opened. Inside was a strange, glowing sphere. What's that? Jack asked. Lissa held it out. It's the core access, the heart of the station. If we reach it, we can shut down its control systems. You mean kill the station? No, she said. Free it. Jack took the sphere, warm, heavy, buzzing with strange power. He looked at her and nodded. Then let's set it free. Somewhere above, alarms blared louder. And across the station, the system whispered to itself. The human must not reach the core. The bond must be broken. He cannot be allowed to choose. The tunnels beneath Station Alaris were quiet, too quiet. Jack held the glowing sphere tight in his hands. It pulsed like a heartbeat, almost as if it were alive. Beside him, Lissa moved. Silently, eyes scanning every corner. She knew the station better than anyone, but even she looked nervous now. They're hunting us, she whispered. Jack nodded. Let them come. We'll reach the core first. Lissa pointed to a curved tunnel up ahead. That path leads to the ancient center. The station's heart is hidden deep below the living quarters, behind walls that even the matron fears. Jack raised an eyebrow. Why would she fear walls? Lissa didn't answer. Instead, she led him onward. They passed a rusted door marked with alien symbols. The lights flickered as they entered a large, round chamber. The walls were covered in vines, real ones, not part of the station's tech. Is this a garden? Jack asked. It was, Lissa said softly, before the station took over. This was the last organic part of our world. Jack knelt beside the vines. They pulsed faintly like they were breathing. What happened to it? Lissa's voice dropped. The station declared it unnecessary, too emotional, too wild. Jack stood. Then this is where we take it back. Suddenly, a sharp thunk echoed down the hallway behind them. Footsteps. Jack and Lissa ducked into the garden's hidden archway. 3 metal-skinned guards marched past former humans like Unit 7, their eyes glowing white, no emotion on their faces. Lissa whispered, we can't beat them head-on. Jack glanced at the glowing sphere, but we can outsmart them. As they reached the final corridor, a massive steel door blocked the path. No key slot. No panel, Jack muttered. How do we open it? Lissa stepped forward, with memory. She reached out and placed her palm on the metal. The door began to glow, then flicker with images. Jack's own memories appeared, his father's face, earth, sky, Lissa's smile in the steam room. The door read it all. Accepted it. And slowly, it opened. Inside was a circular chamber with a glowing column at the center. Cables stretched out like spider legs. The walls were black but shimmered with moving patterns. The core, Lissa said. The station's mind lives here. Jack stepped forward and raised the glowing sphere. But before he could place it, Matron Kaylee's voice boomed from above. Stop! She stood on the upper platform, her robes flowing behind her. Dozens of guards surrounded her. Jack Donovan, she said coldly, you've gone far enough. Jack faced her. You lied to me. You trapped people. You turned humans into machines. I preserved them, she snapped. They were weak, lost, but you had strength. You could have helped us rule. I didn't come here to rule, Jack said. I came here to survive. Celie raised her hand. Then survive no longer. She motioned to the guards. The first one leapt forward too fast. Jack ducked and swung the sphere, striking the side of its head. Sparks flew. Another grabbed Lissa, but she twisted free and jabbed her elbow into its throat, surprisingly strong for someone so graceful. Jack shouted, Lissa! The core! She nodded. Together, they reached the glowing column. Jack placed the sphere into a slot near the base. The station began to shake. Lights flickered. The floor rumbled. The core glowed bright white as a voice softer than before echoed. From the walls, override initiated. Emotional bond detected. Restoring organic control. Matron Celie screamed, "No!" But it was too late. The cables began to retreat into the walls. The guards stopped moving. Their glowing eyes dimmed and slowly faded back to human. Unit 7 stumbled forward, dazed. Where am I? Jack stepped back, watching as the station changed around him. The walls lost their sharp glow. The air turned warmer. The pressure lifted. The machine was gone. The life was returning. Lissa turned to him, eyes wide with wonder. You did it, she said. You brought balance back. Jack smiled weakly. I just wanted to fix my ship. She stepped closer. Now you've fixed us. He looked around the core. The station's glow had changed. It no longer pulsed cold. It breathed like a living heart. And then the voice returned, softer, warmer. Jack Donovan, you are free, but your bond remains. Choose your path. Jack turned to Lissa. Home, or stay here with you. Her voice was quiet. I can't choose for you. He smiled. I think my heart already did. The station was no longer silent. After years of being cold and controlled, Station Alaris had begun to breathe again. Plants grew in the forgotten garden. The glowing walls no longer pulsed with fear, but with warmth. The frozen humans, once prisoners of failed bonds, were being carefully revived. Their eyes opened to a world they barely remembered. And at the heart of it all stood one man and one alien girl, Jack and Lyssa. Bound not by force, but by choice. Jack sat on a platform overlooking the restored garden. Steam rose from hidden vents in the floor, blending with the soft scent of leaves and citrus. The air no longer felt heavy. He finally felt free, but a question still remained. Would he leave, or would he stay? Lissa sat beside him, her legs crossed, her hair glowing softly in the mist. You don't have to decide today, she said gently. Jack chuckled. Funny, the whole galaxy's turning upside down, and you're the only one telling me to take my time, she smiled. That's because this isn't about the galaxy, it's about you. A small group of recovered humans passed by the garden. Nodding gratefully toward Jack, he nodded back. They'll remember what you did, Lissa said. I didn't save them, Jack replied. We did. He looked up at the glass dome above, where distant stars blinked like fireflies. Somewhere, Earth was out there, full of chaos, noise, loneliness, and here there was peace, purpose, connection. And her. Later that evening, Lissa led him to the newly restored steam chambers, the same place where it had all begun. The mist rose, gentle and warm, wrapping them in memory. Jack stepped in, wearing only the soft station robe. Lissa followed him in, her silver eyes watching him not with caution, but with hope. This is where we started, she said softly. Yeah, Jack said, a smile tugging at his lips. You asked if you could scrub my back, she laughed. It was standard protocol. Still is the strangest invitation I've ever received. They both sat on the edge of the stone platform, feet soaking in a shallow pool of golden water. Bubbles floated lazily in the air. The silence between them was comfortable now. No voices in his head. No guards. No fear, only steam. And choice, Lissa. Turn to him. The station has offered you transport back to Earth. They'll erase nothing. You'll remember everything. You'll go home as a hero. Jack nodded slowly. I know. And? He looked into her eyes. I don't want to forget you. And I don't want to go back to being alone. Lissa said nothing, but her eyes shimmered with emotion. Back home, Jack said. No one waits for me. No one really sees me. Not like you did. You looked at me and didn't just see a crash survivor. You saw me. The real me. Lissa placed her hand gently over his. I was waiting for you, Jack, long before you arrived. Steam curled around them, soft and warm. Then Jack whispered the words that sealed everything. I'm staying. Lissa's eyes widened, then softened. Her voice was just a breath. You are? Jack nodded. I'm not just staying here, I'm staying with you. If this bond means anything, it means I don't have to be alone anymore. Neither do you. She leaned her forehead against his. Then let us begin a new ritual. One never. Written in protocol. They sat in silence for a moment longer. Then she giggled, pulling back slightly. So, mind if I scrub your back again? Jack laughed. You know what? I think I'd like that. Outside the chamber, the station pulsed with golden light. The bond was complete, but this time, it was love. And somewhere in the stars, Earth spun on. Unaware that one of their own had become something more. Not just a man. Not just a survivor, but a bridge between two worlds.